to put in my heart and my tongue what is good for me and what good for you. Anybody here has a heart? Believe it or not, Allah mentioned Quran many. Many. Do you have a heart? Why? Let's go step by step. You ready? What word sick mean? Ill, sick. When somebody is sick, meaning the organ or the part is not working. That's why you have the part, but it's not working, or is not working properly. A person is paralyzed. Doesn't mean he has no legs. He has legs, but he's disabled. He cannot walk with the leg. A person has eyes. For example, my left eye, you see it? Can you see? You see my eye? But I cannot see with it. Even the doctor cannot know until he put magnifying glass and he check it out to see what the problem. By this way, we have two topics in here. One topic is this disease, word disease. What disease mean? The things make the things not working. You understand me? You have a flu. Your nose is running. But somebody else has allergy. The nose is running. Are you with me so far? By this way, the illness makes the part not working properly or disabled. Now we have another part of the topic, heart. What is the heart? Okay, I get a knife, I open your chest, we get the heart. Is this the one? No, it's not. This is not what we're talking about. By this way, human being having a heart, the physical part. What about the heart? Allah talk about it in Quran. Is over 50, 60 verse in Quran about the heart. Which heart Allah talk about? The scholar debate. Is the heart is the soul, or the soul is the heart, or the heart is the nafs? Let it be the way Allah talk about it. Heart. The best word for that, the unseen. The unseen safe deposit. The unseen safe deposit containing your iman, your desire, your this, your that, you name it, all in here, in this safe deposit. Nobody know it except Allah. But what is nobody know except Allah is your sincerity. But what happens if this heart is not working properly? What can make it work properly? Very simple. All mankind had a heart. Muslim, non-Muslim, atheist, everybody has a heart. We're talking about the physical heart and what else? The safe deposit heart. You get it. Everybody has a heart. Anybody claiming here he doesn't have a heart? Yes or no? Let me give you bad news. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, some people has no heart. You see, because it's 45 minutes, I cannot tell you. I have over 50 verse and similar ahadith. But if I go to detail, like I tell you, you will be here for a week. Call your wife and tell her you're not coming until 1 week. Do you understand me or no? But I'm trying to give you something very concrete in very short time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Rahman, He talk about mizan, the scale. What mizan? The mizan of justice. What happen if the organ Allah give me is not belong to the justice, is not belong to Allah? Allah veiled the organ. In Surah Al-Hajj, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّهَا لَا تَعْمَى الْأَبْصَارِ. Is not the eye will be blind, إنما تعمى القلوب التي في الصدور. But is the heart will be blind. By the way, Allah said, it's not your eyes can see, it is the heart. It's not your eyeglasses like me, no. It's the heart. And now we have to make it very simple. Either you see by guidance of Allah, hidayah, or you see according to your desire and temptation and shayateen. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned some people, their heart like hard, like rocks. May Allah save us. If you ask me today, we in it. We in it. We in it. By this way, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala veil the heart, رَانَ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ. What will happen to the heart? The heart cannot see, cannot comprehend. Even a session like that, you can find somebody, what did it mean? Okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even talk about the hypocrite and disbeliever, which may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save me and you. Some people from us like that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَإِذَا ذُكِرَ اللَّهَ وَحْدَهُ. And if Allah only mention, إِشْمَأَزَّتْ قُلُوب. The heart of those who are hypocrisy. What are you talking about? Allah? You have nothing else? Talk about something else. By the way, if we talk about Iman, if we talk about Allah, if we talk about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if we talk about soccer game, cricket game, or any stupid game, or any movie or anything, for 2-3 hours. But once you want to talk about Allah or listen to Quran, you cannot. Wallahi, I swear by Allah, I will tell you something is inside me, between me and Allah. If you do not develop the habit of zikrullah, it can come away from you. Wallahi, I talked to many Muslims. I said, do zikrullah. You know what he said? I can't. Every time I do zikr, it gives me headache. It's not zikrullah give them headache. It's shayateen. What happened if your heart? No, your tongue. This is another topic. Your tongue is the translator of your heart. The tongue is the translator of your heart. By this way, if your heart is good, your tongue is good. If your heart is something wrong, your tongue something wrong. This is why Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he summarizes in the most authentic hadith is what? أَلَا أَنَّ فِي الْجَسَدِ مُضْغَةً. In the body is a piece of flesh. If it's good, صلح سائر الجسد كله. وإذا فسدت فسد سائر الجسد كله ألا وهي القلب. In the body is a piece of flesh. If it's good, the whole body is good. If it's bad, the whole body is finished. Now again, because the time, I'm trying to squeeze myself, because if I drift, honest to Allah, this topic is big. But I'm trying now to squeeze how I can get you the topic and finished. By this way, if you belong to Allah, this belong to Allah is easy word, but it's not easy action. I give you today 3 elements just to think about it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we know Isma'illah al-Husna, the name of Allah is 99 names, but Allah has more names than that. And you have another asma, but only in one hadith, 99 names. Anyway, another topic. From the 99 name of Allah, Allah al-Malik, al-Malik. Al-Malik, he's a king. Al-Malik, the owner of dominion. Why? They said because you can be a king, but you do not own. Or you own, but you're not a king. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no. I'm the king, I'm the owner of dominion. And in the Surah Al-Fatiha, Maliki Yawmiddin, Maliki Yawmiddin, we bear witness, He is the Malik of this life and the hereafter. Okay? What else? هو الوارث. هو ايه؟ الوارث, the inheritor. He's the inheritor. وهو الباقي, and he's the one he stay. Everybody, كل من عليها فان. Everything will be finished. You said, brother, your talk is simple. Everybody know that. Let me give you bad news. Listen to this now. Some of the early scholars, what they said, if you're challenging Allah, listen carefully now. If you're challenging Allah in one of His name, even one, you're out of Islam, and you will generate war between you and Allah. If you're challenging Allah in one of His name. You said, brother, I'm a Muslim. How I challenge Allah in His name? I can assure you now, all of us challenging Allah at least 2/3 of the name of Allah. For example, Allah Ar-Razzaq. He's not Raziq. No, Ar-Razzaq. What does it mean? He's the only provider. He's the owner of provision. And nobody else. How many of us believe in that? Believe it. Live it. What happens if I forget death? And I forget I'm leaving. I'm not staying. Are you a resident of here? No, you're not resident. You are a stranger. You are a traveler. You are staying for a short time and leaving. You're not a resident. Where are you now? I'm in earth. Where are you going? Underneath it. Finished. What about my house, my money? You're challenging Allah. Because Allah said, I'm al-Malik wa ana al-Malik. By this way, the early scholar said, once you're challenging Allah in some of His name, the disease of the heart to come. Do you get it or no? Because what is the disease of the heart? Anger, hate, jealousy, this, arrogant, ignorant, stingy, greed, him, her, this. What about even love? Now you start loving what you're accumulating. And the more you love what you accumulate, the more you have disease. Because you're supposed to love Allah more than anyone else. And you have to spend your life for sabilillah. But once we spend our life for whom we love, which is dunya, disease of the heart arrive. And no sheikh in earth can help you. No any knowledge can help you. Even Quran cannot help you. You know why? Because you're not reading with your heart. You're reading with your eye only. Because if you read with your heart, you will see how many verses Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spend. You're going to die. You're going to die. You're going to die. Okay. And you see the condition of the ummah. What are you doing? Why? Like one person said, okay, brother, how come in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam nobody talk about disease of the heart? Because the companions do not have disease of the heart. Why? This bending. Once you spending, you have no disease. I can promise you right now. 2 things. If you do them, all the disease of the heart will be erased. But this too is not easy. It's not easy. Wallahi, is very simple. If you hear me talking about it, you said, brother, you didn't say anything new, but do them. And these two things in Quran has no limit. Has no limit. Do you know who they are? Zikrullah has no limit. And spending has no limit. What make Abu Bakr Abu Bakr? Radiallahu anhu. What makes a companion who all they are? Believe me, wallahi, 2, 3 times, many times, I cry every time I read some of the story about Uthman ibn Affan radiallahu anhu. Do you know why? I feel jealous, but really nice jealous. You know why? Uthman ibn Affan radiallahu anhu, in 2 occasions, he did something. And after he did them, you know what our Rasulullah said? He said, Uthman ibn Affan, nothing will harm him after today. What it meaning nothing will harm him after? Finished. He's done. لا يضر عثمان شيئا بعد اليوم. Finished. What make him get the status? One time, when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he won't prepare a group of people to go for a battle, and he has no money. He said, who will prepare these people? Uthman ibn Affan said 100, meaning 100 horse with everything. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam was adab. He said, who else? Who will increase? Uthman ibn Affan, he said, another 100. Rasulullah keep talking, and Uthman, another 100. Look at the moment what he do. Quick. Rasulullah give this sentence. The another time, when Uthman ibn Affan in Medina, he heard is too big of water. Too big well of water is owned by Jewish, and they charging Muslim for drinking. And Rasulullah just make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, frees a Muslim of spending all this money to drink the water. Uthman ibn Affan went and he said to the owner of the well, I won't buy this well from you. How much? He said, such and such money. He said, take it. He said, how come you didn't bargain with me? I charge you 3 to 7 times than the price. He said, wallahi, if you charge me 10 times, I will never bargain. He said, why? He said, because I'm going to give it to somebody, he will give me 10 times of what I paid. He said, who's that? He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. By the way, for today, in less than 45 minutes, you want to clean your heart? 2 things. Zikrullah in abundance. When zikrullah become beloved to you than anything else. And real zikrullah. With your tongue, with your heart, with your thought. This is another topic. And spending. You remember verse 92 Ala Imran? لن تنالوا البر حتى تنفقوا مما تجمعون. No. مما تحبون. From what you love. Wallahi, I have 50 verse or 60 verse about the heart. It's really scary. You want me to give you a session about this with detail? No problem. It will take minimum 3 hours. And I will cover it fully. If you want, no problem. I'm not kidding. We go to college for 10 years, 12 years. But for the disease of the heart, let me give you bad news and good news if you listen to me now. The bad news is, Imam Abu Hamid al-Ghazali rahmatullahi alayh, in Ihya al-Muddin and his life, okay, what he said all the disease, all the physical disease has one cure. You know what is that? Death. Because once you die, you do not need to have any medication. You're done. Except one disease, death will never cure it. The disease of the heart. He said the disease of the heart, the pain of the disease of the heart is start after death and continue until the day of judgment. Torture in the grave until the day of judgment. Backbiting, hasad, this, again. We can talk about it, almost 18, 20, or 22 diseases. You won't clean it up? Just like that? I will give you a recipe. I know what I'm talking about. I bear witness. You will see a wonder, and your salah will be different. Number one, spend minimum 20% of your capital for sabilillah. The moment you spend this amount, you will feel like a bird. Your iman will rise up. Your salah will become different. You will feel light, and your heart become free. You want to go more? Go 30%, 40%, 50%, capital. Show me one Muslim in earth can do that. Show me one Muslim in earth. You have 5, 6 houses, you sell one for sabilillah. You take all the money, you spend it for sabilillah. Whatever. Da'wat, charity, this and that, orphan, needy, calamity, you name it, sick. Only for sabilillah. Why? You're taking from what you have in your heart, you give it to Allah. The more you give, the more you clean up. Now, I go to Sheikh so and so and Sheikh so. Wallahi, listen to all the shuyukh on earth. Read Quran from morning to evening. But if you do not spend, you are in big trouble. Go to my website. I have one article called Project Smile and another article called Zakat. And in Zakat article, I show you something simple, very simple. 5 topics in Quran about spending. 5. Allah challenging us. Let me give you bad news. What happened if I listen to Quran, listen to Hadith, go to Masajid, go to Hajj, go to Umrah, go to all this, but deep inside I'm drowning in dunya? Let me give you bad news. They said, this another scholar, you remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Quran, He said, He forgive all the sin except shirk? Correct? But something else in a hadith, a lot of people do not know. Actually, it's 2 things more. What happens if you love dunya and you do not believe you love dunya? You will never make tawbah. And you die with loving dunya and loving your daughter and your son and your husband and this and that. Ya Allah, you finished. You finished. Let me tell you quick. Imam Abu Hamid al-Ghazali, some people consider him a Sufi and this and that, and wallahi, I'm not belong to any group or any tariqah. 0. I'm belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Imam Abu Hamid al-Ghazali in Ihya Ulum al-Din and get the right version from England, they did a beautiful job in the translation. Okay, read the topic about the disease of the heart. It make you scared. And let me tell you something quick about him to understand what happened to him. He was reading Quran and he was going to give a session about one verse in Quran belong to our tonight. يوم لا ينفع مال ولا بنون إلا من أتى الله بقلب سليم. In the day, your kids, your money will not benefit you except those who meet Allah with a pure heart. He fall down. His tongue was locked. He cannot talk. People came, tried to wake him up. He cannot talk. He cannot talk. And his brother came and this and that. Wonder what happened. He wake up from his own coma, so scared. He quit. He was a scholar of his own time. Nobody can talk without his permission. The Khalifa make him the top of the top. We can talk about his name and his status in his own time. His student is not like me. His student like 10 to 15,000 per day, coming from all over. He wrote 300-500 books in every topic you can imagine. And when he wake up, you know what he did? You will never believe what he did. He liquidated all his capital. He liquidated all his capital. And he has a wife with 2 or 3 children. What he did? 2/3. How much? 2/3 of the money he spent it for Sabilillah, of his capital. And the third left, he divided into 3. He gave part to his wife, and part to his brother to do something, and part for him. He takes this part, he put it in a mule, and he go for Hajj. At this time where he is, Iraq. You know how long it take him to go to Hajj and come back? 10 years. From Iraq to Saudi Arabia and coming back, going to Hajj, 10 years. To the point people think he's dead. Why? What he did, he used to go and pass by all the grave land. Go to cemetery. And every time he passed cemetery, he's standing up. He said, what happened if you die? What are you going to say to Allah? He went crazy. He's so scared of Allah. He's so scared about what he has. Because he worry about one verse. In the day when you meet Allah, nobody will benefit you. No money, no honey, nobody except pure heart. When he come back, after 10, 11 years, what he did? Number 1, he said to all his people, I make tawbah of all the knowledge I give you before. All I give you before, I discover is not knowledge. And the only knowledge you need is the knowledge of oneness of Allah. And he said, you will never learn it until you immigrate to Allah. You have to immigrate to Allah. You have to be alone. And he went to the Khalifa and he resigned. The Khalifa go up and he said, no more. And he never talk, he never give lecture, he never do anything, and for 2 years and he died. And for 2 years he talked about only one topic, the name of Allah and how to believe in Allah. That's it. I challenge you, how many Muslims have the name of Allah in their living room? And how many of them know the name of Allah, what it means, how to live it? Allah al-Malik, Allah al-Malik. He's a king, he's the owner of dominion. Why are you owning? Why you try to building? Why you try to live like you're going to die? Huwa al-Hayy. Allah is the living one. Al-Muhyi al-Mumit. Al-Hayy al-Qayyum. Finished. All of us are going to die. By the way, one of the main diseases of the heart, when you forget death. By the way, I will give you another job. Please go to my website, read article, Heedlessness and Meeting Your Lord. This 1. Project Smile is 2. Zakat is 3. You want to really, again, love yourself, really, really love yourself? Go and listen to me, Introductory to the Name of Allah, 11th session. Introductory to the Name of Allah. I never give the name of Allah. Do you know why? I said, if anybody listens to 11, he doesn't need me. I just explaining why we need the name of Allah in our life. Because with every name is a quality. And with every minus of Allah name is minus in quality. And all this, you will never have it with dunya. Never. They do not get together. Dunya and akhirah is the opposite highway. Opposite. What happening to us as an ummah today? We are drowning in dunya. A scholar is not a scholar, a speaker, everybody dunya. And the ummah suffering all over. What about the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam? ثلاثا من كن فيه. 3, whoever have them. ذاق حلاوة الإيمان. 3, if you have them, you will test the sweetness of Iman. What they are? أن يحب الله. أن حب الله يكون أعلى من كل حب. To love Allah above anybody. وأن تحب المرء لا تحبه إلا لله. And to love the person, you will not love him except for Allah. What about my daughter, my son? Doesn't mean nothing. Because all this occupation and destruction and attachment, and before you know it, will generate disease. And this disease will hurt you, will harm you, dunya and akhirah. You and your daughter and your son and your husband. If you ask me what we're doing, we cursing ourselves by ourselves. We cursing ourselves by ourselves. We cursing our daughter and son. We cursing them. Because the ultimate gift, you give it to your daughter and son and this and that, love Allah above anybody. Because loving Allah will make Allah pleased with you. Now He give you barakah in your kids. But imagine you challenging Allah. You're challenging Allah and you love your daughter or your son or somebody above Allah. Allah will torture you with whom you love. 3 verse, Surah At-Tawbah. Go, I have no time to give you. Very scary. Allah promised, whoever love anyone above Allah, Allah will torture you with whom you love. And now, my husband, my wife, my kids, I don't know. This is what we hear. The ummah is boiling, the ummah is suffering, the ummah killing each other, and I'm still occupied by one person. Called son, daughter, husband, wife. How many minutes left? 10. Now, let me give you one tiny story. Tiny. You remember Asma bint Abi Bakr radiallahu anha? Asma. ذات النطاقين. The one she supporting Rasulullah and Abu Bakr when they went for immigration from Mecca to Medina. She was a tiny girl. She get the food from Mecca, she cut her clothing. And she carried one food with one piece of cloth and another piece of cloth to mask her foot. By this way, nobody can see her. Later on become ذات النطاقين. This is her name. Believe me, I do not even mention the story yet and my body shivering. She lived until age of 100. She died when she was 100 years old. Almost 30 years, she was blind. She cannot see. All her kids died and she buried them. And she was divorced. Her husband divorced her long time. By this way, divorce. Her kids died. And when you study who she is and who is her kids, let me give you the last one. The last child of her died was Abdullah ibn Zubayr radiallahu anhu. Read who he is. And she blind. Listen to this conversation and cry over our mother, or call themselves a mother. She blind. He came to her. Salamu alaikum, my mom. I coming to consult you. She said, okay, what you consult me about? He said, today I have a feeling it might be my last day in life. I am going to such and such cause, and I believe people will kill me. Now, if my son, right? This our mom today. Ooh, cuckoo, coming from mental institute. And she claims she loves her children. Look to this woman, blind, 85 years old. She said, my son, if you have a cause, and you're sincere in your cause, and you believe it belongs to Allah, why you consult me? You have a doubt about your cause? He said, no, my mom, I have no doubt. She said, okay, what you want to consult me for? He said, I felt maybe I will hurt your feeling by my death. She said, my son, all of us are going to die, but the important, how are you going to die? He said, my mother, but I'm scared. If they kill me, I heard they will cut my body and humiliate my body. She said, did you ever hear about the sheep? They slaughter the sheep. Is after they slaughter the sheep, is the sheep feel anything? Look at the mother. He said, my mom, I'm happy I came to talk to you. I want you to strengthen my iman because I feel I might not see you anymore. She said, okay, if this your feeling, give me a hug. He come and he give her a hug. She said, what you doing? What I feel? He said, a shield. He said, what you wear a shield for? If what you believe is what you believe, and you believe in Allah, what you have a shield for? Take it off if you believe. This is a mother talking to her son. Who can challenge this woman? And when he was leaving, she said, my son, I didn't see you, but we will see each other inshallah in Jannah. Go, may Allah accept you. Later on, 3 days later, they cut him into pieces, and she sent somebody to collect the pieces left for her son to make Salat al-Janazah over him. What kind of woman is that? Do we have women today? But the problem, we do not have women because we do not have men. Because we're blaming women, but where is men? We have male, but big difference between a male and a man. Go to chapter Ahzab, verse 23. You will see what meaning man. Min al-mu'minina rijal. Among the believer is men. Allah did not say all the believer men. No, 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 no. You can do Hajj, you can do Umrah, but in the front of Allah, you're not a man. Imagine if Allah call you on the day of judgment, you're not a man. Imagine. Imagine if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do not call you at all, you're not a woman. How humiliation is that? By this way, all the disease of the heart generated by loving dunya. And the more you love dunya, the more you have diseases. You want clean up your assets. Wallahi, go to Hajj every year, go to Umrah every year, go to this, go to that. Unless you spend, and the spending to be massive for sabilillah, and dhikrullah to be above anything, you're not going anywhere. Because today what happened? We go to Umrah, we go to Hajj as a vacation. Believe it or not, may Allah forgive me. Do you know what Malaysian people now famous with? They acting like Japanese in the 80s. When Japanese people in the 80s, they have money, every year they go for 5 vacation, 6 vacation, this vacation and this vacation. People is dying. People is hungry. And we're spending maybe 100,000 ringgit or 200,000 over vacation. Well, if you die, what are you going to say to Allah? What are you going to say to Allah? How you can stand in the front of Allah and talk to Him? And read the amount of ahadith when your face, the meat will fall down from the shy of Allah. What happened if Allah refused to talk to me? Not every Muslim will talk to Allah. If you have certain sins, you will not talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah save me. I can be from them. Read how many hadiths and how many ayat in Quran about this topic. وعنت الوجوه للحي القيوم. And all the faces to be respected to Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum. But imagine, you know when your child really did it in the school, or when your child is really making like 5-6 years old, coming with a boo-boo in his pants, and he escapes the school and he didn't make anything, how he look at you as a father and mother? He's scared and he cannot talk because he has nothing to say. The ummah is boiling, and what we do? Go to Umrah, come to Umrah. Go to Hajj, go to Hajj. Go to Umrah, go to Umrah. The poor getting poorer, the rich getting richer. And the injustice, zulm is spreading. And we watching? Read about these people, the Sahaba of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They are the role model, not me and you. Not me and you. Do you understand? By the way, all the disease of the heart, you can clean it up. Very simple. If the journey of Iman come up, disease of the heart go down. When you believe Allah is Malik, when you believe Allah is Malik, when you believe you're going to die, and you're not going to take nothing in your grave except two, your Iman and your good deed. That's it. You will not take nothing. Nothing. What about your kids? What about the best thing you can say with your kids? Go to chapter An-Nisa, verse 9. وَلْيَخْشَى الَّذِينَ لَوْ تَرَكُوا مِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّةً ضَعَافًا خَافُوا عَلَيْهِمْ فَلْيَتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَلْيَقُولُوا قَوْلًا سَدِيدًا. Whoever fear, what will happen to my kids? This Allah advice, not me, not my sheikh, not my interpretation. Go to chapter An-Nisa, verse 9. If you believe, you worry about your children, fear Allah and do good deed. I can tell you now many things. Go to chapter At-Tawbah. Read it carefully. Go to Surah Al-Hadid, the iron. Read it carefully. Wallahi, you're scared. You're scared. Even Surah Al-Baqarah. Look at the amount of verses about spending. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, one time he has a dispute with Umar. Tiny dispute. And something happened, little bit clash. And Rasulullah get to know. Do you know what he did? Look at Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He did not say anything to nobody. He didn't say anything to Umar. He said, gather the people. Gather everybody. Everybody arrive. He said, I heard some people يأذوني في Abu Bakr. They hurt me for Abu Bakr. And they hurt Abu Bakr's feeling. Abu Bakr, he listened to me and obey me and believe in me when nobody believed. Abu Bakr صدقني إذا كذبني الناس. He tell me you say the truth when everybody is a lie. And he spent his money over me. All my life Abu Bakr support me with his money. Whoever displease Abu Bakr displeases me. And whoever displeases me displeases Allah. They said after that, nobody dared to say anything to Abu Bakr. And Umar was weeping, radiallahu anhu. People, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us die with qalbun salim. What is pure heart? Pure heart. Meaning what? The love of Allah, the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the love of the believer, the love of Islam, care about the message is above anybody. And we love only Allah. And we love each other for Allah. And we hate to go back to sins. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put barakah in what I say. May Allah put barakah in you. And may Allah save us from ourselves. May Allah save us from dunya. May Allah save us from loving dunya. May Allah snatch loving dunya out of our heart and fill our heart with loving Allah, loving Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And may Allah allow us to love each other only for Allah. And give us a beautiful death with qalbun salim, insha'Allah, when we meet Allah and Allah pleased with us. Ameen, ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. وصلى اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحانك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. جزاك